Hello YouTube. In my last video, I talked about synthesizing your own kick drums. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to make your own hi-hats. I'm going to go over a few methods. Some are definitely easier than others, but all of them are really useful to know for making different types of hi-hats. So with no further gilding of the lily, I'm going to get right on into it. First method I'm going to show you is just using some white noise. And essentially what you want to do is set up an envelope just for the volume to start off with. Great. And there you have a hi-hat. Thanks for watching, guys. Just kidding. There is a whole lot more to this. The next thing to do to make this a lot more realistic is to add some high and low dampening, which is basically the decaying of the low and high frequencies over time. And I'll demonstrate that now using one of these multi-filters. Right, let's go with the low-high 12. And I'm going to put the noise in this filter. And then, as you can see, it's got a low pass and a high pass fused together. And what I'll do is I'll have it so the high end decays over time and the low end gets cut off as well. So what I'll do is I'll have the opposite modulation this time. And if you wanted a steeper filter, you could utilize both of these filters instead. That way you could go with a 24 decibels per octave curve and set up a similar sort of thing, and then just switch this first filter to a high pass instead. And set this cut off the opposite direction and remove this fat. Just make sure this is working properly. So we've got the noise going into filter 1, and then filter 1 needs to be going into filter 2. So then we get both effects. Nice. And now it's a matter of just dialing in which area of the spectrum you want to have as your hi-hat. So there we've got a bit of a deeper one. Or you could go for something that's a lot more high-end focused. So already we're getting somewhere there. Maybe if I add a bit of drive to the filter as well, you can get more character into it. Going back to the shape itself now, because it's attached to the filter and the volume, just changing this shape will dramatically change what kind of hi-hat this is. And then you can even add a little bit of an attack to just soften it a little bit. From here, what you can do to change the texture of your hi-hat is just use a different noise type. So if I go through some of these different noise types, you can hear that we're getting drastically different characteristics. So that's one way that you can alter the texture. The other way that you can get other noise textures is by using FM. And this gives you access to a whole new range of different noisy textures. Attach this oscillator to the envelope and filter oscillator B into the filter, and then the filter's going into the next filter. So that should be working now. Turn down oscillator C. Now it's going through the same modulations. Set it to FM from C, and then the more you turn it up, the more noisy it's going to get. If I turn up the octave of this second oscillator, we're getting a lot more noisy there. And then if we add on some warping maybe to this first oscillator, it again changes the tone of the noise that is being generated from this extreme FM. You can maybe even add some unison voices. to make the sound a bit wider, but also it makes the sound even noisier because the FM is per unison voice. So each unison voice is FMing each other unison voice. And then just playing different notes on your keyboard, it's going to change the tone as well. One further method to this is a method that I learned from a video that AU5 created about making cymbals. I highly recommend you go and watch that. He goes very in depth with how to make very realistic sounding cymbals, and generally I think you should go and check out his channel because he is an absolute wizard sound designer. The method AU5 talks about is using two sine waves to FM one another with an extreme amount of unison voices to create this wash of sound that can then be put through the filter. If I, for this example, take oscillator B out of the filter, just so you can hear what we've got. If I bring up the FM, it gets noisier. And then if we play with the detune, it starts to get really chaotic. And that's exactly what we want, but it's still not enough. So what he does is he goes into the unison settings, which you can access by clicking this gear next to the unison voices. You can just bring the unison range all the way up, which makes a considerable amount of extra voices, which make the sound way more noisy. And now there's a multitude of ways that you can alter the tone of this. If I put it back into the filter, right, we've got our hi-hat, but then you can change the tone by altering the detune amounts, the FM ratio, playing different notes once again, and the FM amount also. Right, so there's countless ways that you can get additional tones out of this. An additional way to change the tone is through using either the sync or the PWM. And then the PWM is just this little pulse width modulation. And that can also get you some really nice results. From here, you can also emphasize some of these properties by making the sound a bit more dynamic and having some movement on, say, the FM amount. That way you have a little bit more noisiness at the transient, and then it kind of clarifies towards the end. And then maybe let's try it on the PWM as well. Maybe the other way around. If I go into the MIDI and maybe place a much higher note. Nice. And now we're getting into the more metallic territory. Then we can dial in some of the settings a little bit more. And with this technique, it's just a lot of trial and error until you find something that you like or that is appropriate for whatever you're working on. Try maybe moving the semitones. Now that we have two warp modes, we can maybe even try adding a second layer of FM. pretty nice, the noisy part at the top. And what we can do is we can go back into our filters and change the frequency range in which it resides. If we want a darker hat, or one which has a bit more body to it. Or if we want a longer hat, or a shorter one. So that could be a tiny little 16th hat, or again, we can go back to our more characterful hat. Maybe add on an extra warp mode. And again, put that on our transient. So now we've got a bit more of a noisy transient. As far as the oscillator tab, this is pretty much it. It's just playing around with all of these different values and find that sweet spot. Keep playing with the detunes and the FM. If it's too noisy, you can bring the unison range down a bit. And that'll just pull back the noisiness just a little bit. So if we go onto the effects side now, this is where we can add a bit of interest and a bit more depth to these hat sounds and make them a little bit more realistic. To start off with, I'm going to just add on a little bit of a chorus. And I'm going to bring the rate and the depth all the way down. And getting these extra delayed versions of the hat really adds a nice little bit of stereo as well as some nice character. So without it, it's very central. But with a bit of that, pushes it out into the sides a bit and gives it a bit more interest. The next thing to do would be to add some boosts and cuts in the spectrum by using either a comb filter or a phaser, because if you look at a spectrum analyzer of realistic hats, it's not a perfectly uniform signal. It's got areas where harmonics are emphasized, and that's what creates the character in these hats. So if I go onto the filter and select maybe combs, bring up the resonance, and moving the cutoff around will change the position of these boosts and cuts. Once you find a position that you like, you can dial back the effect by just pulling back on the mix. And that's enough to change the characteristic and make it feel a lot more realistic. So maybe a bit of distortion might help. If you need it to be fuller. You can also add on an equalizer to sculpt the tone by just cutting out certain frequencies. That way you can just fine tune the tone of your hat. And then we can maybe add a phaser to just add more cuts and boosts in the spectrum. And again, mix that out. We have a pretty nice sounding hi-hat. And if I play some different notes, at this point, I'm just going to go into the effects and just add on a little bit of Valhalla Room for some spatial reverb and just mix it out because we only want a little bit of it just to make it a bit more realistic. So without it, it's very dry. But with a bit of reverb, it definitely sounds a lot more like a realistic hat. One final thing that you can do to make this more realistic, if you're playing in this patch as MIDI, for example, something that can give you a lot more control over this is attaching some of the parameters to velocity. So for example, I can set the auxiliary source for some of these things, like the filter frequency and the oscillator B level and the filter 2 frequency as well. That way, if I go into the MIDI, you have different levels of impact on that hi-hat. To further increase the difference in tone, you can have velocity also attached to the warp modes. Let's just try the lot of them and just see what happens. So as you can see, not only are we getting a brighter, fuller sound when the velocity is higher, but also the actual tone is changing with each of the different velocities. So that's going to be it for this video, and I hope you learned something about synthesizing your own hi-hats. And the thing is with these is they don't necessarily have to be realistic, you know, they just have to be a sound that occupies that high-end frequency and that works with the rest of your track or drum kit. So I hope you got something out of that. If you want to support, then leave a like on this video and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.